Come with me, let's talk through the figures of one of my latest deals. So this one has just come out of refurb. It's a buy, refurbish, and refinance. And more importantly, I'm going to talk about what I'm doing with the property now to generate unusual amounts of revenue from it. So this property that we bought is called Lilac Cottage. It's a beautiful cottage up in the northeast, and we bought it for £165,000. Now I'm going to break down throughout the deal how you make a deal work and give you some top tips and some nuggets tax-wise, how we've saved on the refurb. I'm going to talk about how we managed that from afar. I'm going to talk about how we got the maximum value at the end. And I'm going to start off with how we negotiated the price. So Lilac Cottage had originally gone on the market for £220,000. The seller hadn't sold it, so adjusted the price down to £200,000. Now we started our negotiations at 150. Very polite, very respectful, so we kept good level of rapport, but it basically said, look, there's no way we can do this for 150. We went back and forth, and we went back and forth for nearly 2 months, which is a really important point here. Sometimes people think that you're always going to negotiate a deal in seconds. It doesn't work like that. The seller needed their expectations to be realigned, and we ended up getting the property for 165,000. So, £165,000, beautiful little cottage in the northeast, massive garden, but it needed a bit of work to it. And so we carried out a refurb to the property. But just to recap, rule number one, where possible, you always want to buy at the lowest price because you're making money up front. Now we got a valuation day one and that property was valued at 200. So that was actually the correct valuation for the property. Now, we carried out a refurb to the property. It was an extensive refurb. We may have overspent slightly and we ended up spending £52,500. And so that was for the full refurb on the property. Now to break down what we did, we gutted the entire property. We put a brand new kitchen in, but things like the kitchen, we saved an absolute fortune on. So the kitchen was supposed to be £7,500. We got something called an LNPG card, which you pay just shy of 200 quid a year. And that gives you the maximum discount at places like Magnet, up to 75% off, which meant that we actually got the kitchen secured at £2,400. It's pretty much £5,000 saving there. Making money is not just about what you bring in, it's about what you don't send out. All goes straight to your bottom line. The next thing was, this property had actually been empty for 2 years. And when a property has been empty for 2 years or more, you qualify for a VAT reduction on your works. A lot of people don't realize that. Now, you don't need to create evidence up front. Sometimes people say, well, what do I need to do? How do I send it? What you need to do is you need to notify your tradespeople. And so your builder, this is a little builder hat in case you're wondering, your builder will, rather than charge you 20% VAT, will charge you 5% on the invoices. Specifically, this is for services. So if you're going to buy materials, then you can't get that reduction on the materials up front. But if your contractor is supplying the materials, then you'll get the reduction on the whole amount. And so specifically, you probably want your contractor to provide the materials so you can get 5% reduction across the board. Now, what does that mean in real terms? It means if the refurb was going to be 50 grand plus VAT, it would have been 60 grand. If it's 50 grand plus VAT with this VAT reduction, it's only 52.5 grand. And so we saved a massive amount. Now that applies to every different contractor that we use. So for example, if you get a rewire and the rewire is 4,000 plus VAT, which would normally be £4,800, you get that 5% reduction charged up front by your builder, and they might need to go and check that with their accountant. So just make sure that you don't try and claim it back later because you can't. So they need to charge you that up front. But actually you'd be paying £4,200. This is a really useful tip. If HMRC ever challenge it, you want to keep some evidence on file, council tax or records of the building being empty, just so that you can prove that. But that's one way that we saved a heck of a lot of money on our refurb, which again goes straight to our bottom line. Couple that with things like buying the materials sensibly from places like Magnet with the discounts, and that allowed us to control the budget. And this is important, right? Because sometimes for the level of refurb that we did and the standard that we created, people will look at that and think it was a 100 grand kit out. You know, we really went all in. We got a hot tub for the property. Again, sometimes people think a hot tub's going to be 10 grand. We paid 1,500 quid for a second-hand but very good condition hot tub on Facebook Marketplace. And so it's really just about keeping the spend down and being intelligent about how you spend that money on a refurb. Now, we weren't around, so this also incorporates a project management fee. And the project management fee is for an experienced builder who was working on site to also arrange everything within that project. So they create a schedule of works before the project starts, and then they will execute on that. They will be responsible for, or they were responsible for, getting all of the tradespeople on site on time, getting all of the materials on site on time. So I didn't have to be there. In fact, I visited the refurb once while it was happening. And that's just to film a bit of content for you guys. So we got 165,000 for the property, 52,500 for the refurb. So then you got to add on things like the stamp duty, the legals. Stamp duty was about £9,000. Legals were about £1,500. And so that brings us up right now. Let's add another £11,000 for legals and fees. We put all of that together. So £228,500. Now, property got revalued at 250,000. Now, some of you are going to be like, but Steve, I thought you had to get every single penny out of every deal. Well, this channel is here to be open, transparent, and educational. And so I'm going to tell you the actual figures, right? So we got £250,000, which means the bank agreed to loan us 75% against that £250,000, which in real terms meant a mortgage has been raised on the property of £187,500, which means we put 228,000 into the deal. We got 187,000 back out of the deal. So approximately £40,000 of our money has stayed in there. Now, some of you won't necessarily want to leave that much money in. The reason we were willing to do this is because we want it to be a super top spec, and more important to us is what we're doing with the property. So remember, if we've left about 40, we're just shy, but we're going to call it £40,000 in the deal, our ROI is now based on this £40,000. So the key thing is what we're actually doing with the property. So yes, we've left 40,000 in. Rather than rent it out for just £850 a month, which, let's face it, after the mortgage, that's not going to be going very far. What we've decided to do is use this as a short-term let. So it's a prime location, hence the hot tub as well. Those of you might have picked up on that clue. Now, this generates as a short-term let £6,750 per calendar month, which is phenomenal. And that's at a 65% occupancy rate. That said, turnover is vanity, profit is sanity. Let's take away the expenses. It's actually just shy of this, but we're going to say it's £3,000. So it leaves us with a profit of about £3,750 a month. Over the course of a year, it means we've got all of our money back and a bit. So it is a massive ROI and a massive cash flowing asset. So to my original point, when I opened the video, it's about how we generate more profit from the same property. And so what we're looking to do with our properties, rather than go down that buy-to-let route and just have a low income that doesn't set us financially free, is we want to generate the highest possible return by using things like this. So how do we do that? We list on different platforms. We use our channel manager software. I'll break it down for you in another video, how you set up and operate a successful short-term let. For the meantime, if you like this content, then like, subscribe, and as always, you're very welcome.